If you are going through a divorce and have a house that you need to sell as part of the liquidation process, you're going to want to watch this video. My number one tip for you is to find a realtor who, number one, is a neutral third party, and number two, has divorce experience. One, as a neutral third party, that realtor is going to be able to bring everybody together on some common ground, which honestly might seem really impossible right now if you're right in the middle of a divorce. So finding that neutrality, that realtor's goal, and is what going to circle back with every time is, hey, my job is to get your house sold for as much money and as quickly as possible so you can both move on with some closure and work towards finalizing the divorce. So again, as that neutrality, they are not siding one party or another. They're not pointing fingers. They're not playing good cop, bad cop. They're able to have that centered ability to say, hey, I work for both of you, and my number one goal is, again, to get your house sold for as much money as possible and as quickly as possible so you guys can move on. That should be their number one focus and goal, not to be the therapist and not to pit each other against you. So that's they're able to bridge that gap so you guys can all move forward with that common goal. The second piece is you need somebody that has divorce experience. Real estate can be a complicated transaction as is. When you throw a divorce on top of that, it can really make the transaction complicated, from who's showing, what's the access, are there any court ordered stipulations that we need to know about, how are funds going to get split at closing with those proceeds, all of these different nuances that if somebody doesn't have experience with the divorce process, it could end up costing you tens of thousands of dollars and a lot of stress trying to figure things out as you go. So those are my two tidbits of advice to consider. One, a neutral third party, and two, make sure that realtor has experience. If this is something that you have more questions on, I have years and years of divorce experience. These are the main tips that I've learned along the way. I'm also going to create a series of videos with other tips and things to prepare for if you're going through a divorce and have a house to sell. So I'm Nicole Johnson, broker owner of CoVision Real Estate Group. I love where I live and I want to help you do the same.